Hi there, I'm John Moore, and I am a shamanic teacher from Maine in the US and the New England region of the US. And today I'm going to let you in on a secret, or maybe not so secret, but it's something that not a lot of people have a complete grasp for, I would say, in my experience. Certainly very experienced shamanic practitioners do, but this is something I want to help conceptualize a little bit because it's super important. And if you go on to study or learn shamanism and you get really in depth in it, this concept is really important. And that's the concept of the Axis Mundi, which is a Latin term meaning the axis of the world or the axis of the earth or what have you. But it means more than that. So if you were an astronomer, the Axis Mundi would be the axis between the two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, not magnetic, but true North and South poles, around which the Earth turns, right? That's the axis. However, in spiritual terms, the Axis Mundi is a concept that means the connection between heaven and earth. So if we think about the earth spinning underneath us, what connects us to the earth, the lower world in shamanic terms, and the upper worlds or the cosmos. So it is the cosmic pole. It is the thing around which the universe turns. Not physically, but spiritually. Obviously, we are not, no matter what you think, you're not the center of the universe on the physical realm. However, in spiritual practice, it is an important concept to learn to sort of become or act like the axis around which things turn. This is really important in a lot of practices and a lot of esoteric practices. And very frequently, the Axis Mundi is represented as something like the world tree, right? So you have, in many, many cultures, you have the world tree that has roots that go down into the earth, branches that reach up into the sky, and the trunk is in the middle. That is important because metaphorically that represents the shaman, the person who can go into the underworld, can go into the upper world, and to stay in this physical world. They can branch each of those worlds. So we see the world tree showing up in a lot of different cultures. So in Kabbalah, we have the tree of life, also in the Bible. In Norse mythology, we have Yggdrasil. We have world trees in lots of different cultures. Sometimes some cultures represent this as a pole. Like in Mongolian shamanism, I don't know the term for it, but there is a pole around which they tie things that are sort of prayers, and then they spray milk on the pole, and there's ceremony that's done around this. Also in Sami shamanism from northern Scandinavia, the tent pole is really important part of that. And there's some shamanic rituals in which the shaman would climb the tent pole and come sliding down, is actually where we get the whole Santa Claus sliding down the chimney thing. I'll do a whole video on why I think Santa Claus is actually representing a shaman from that culture. It's pretty cool. So anyway, the Axis Mundi is really important. It's a really important concept because once you grasp this, when you go into journey, you understand that you are reaching up and reaching down and bringing those things together into this middle world, this physical world. And so most shamanic cultures represent at least three worlds: the upper world, the lower world, and the middle world being the one we live in, but also the spiritual aspect of the physical realm that we live in. The Axis Mundi, when you journey or you meditate upon being the Axis Mundi, it starts to this process we call in shamanism becoming the hollow bone, which means you're starting to you're starting to clear your stuff out, the ego gunk that's there, so that you can become a clearer channel for spirit to work through you. It is hubris, it would be hubris for me to say that I am doing X work. When I work with somebody from a shamanic perspective, all credit goes to my helping spirits. The only thing I do is set up the ceremony and act, hopefully doing my best to act as a conduit, as a clear a conduit, as hollow a bone as I can for spirit to work into the physical realm. This is where the Axis Mundi comes in. We are the trunk, we're the whole tree, but where this comes into the middle world is we're acting as that trunk. We are bringing, our helping spirits might reside in another realm, and we have to be the channel to pull things up from the earth or pull things down from the heavens and allow that power to work with a client when I'm working shamanically, when I'm doing a healing, for example. And so it's a really important concept. A lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people might not get it, but you can, even if you're not practiced as a shamanism or you haven't learned shamanism, there are meditations that you can do where you can imagine yourself growing really large and on the earth and seeing everything sort of spinning around you. And this gives you some sense of what it is to become the Axis Mundi. This is a really important practice in some Western esoteric practices. So there is the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, for example, that comes from the Golden Dawn tradition and is used by a lot of Western esoteric systems. This is a ceremony that's done for banishing, but it's also done for just sort of practicing. And it starts with a ritual called the Kabbalistic cross, in which you actually sort of take on the form of the Axis Mundi. And some people don't teach it that way, but I think there's something missing when they don't teach that that's a really important part of this ritual, is to become the Axis Mundi, because this allows you to tap into power, pure esoteric spiritual power. So this is a very short video, but I just wanted to give some lip service to the Axis Mundi from a shamanic perspective. There are lots of different viewpoints on this depending upon your spiritual tradition, and they're probably all really valid. But from a shamanic perspective, I think it's something that every practitioner should understand. I think it's something that everybody should get, and when you do, it helps you to become that hollow bone and serve, if you're working with other people or just working on yourself, it allows you to do that from a better perspective. It allows you to conceptualize that work. So anyway, I hope you're happy and healthy and stay that way. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out my website, check out my app. I have all kinds of stuff going on. I'm giving away lots and lots of information because I love shamanism and I love sharing it, and I love sharing it with you. So I will talk to you real soon, and stay well.